Alongside Rob Lewis, I'm Austin Price for the 2 minute drill. Just heard from New Tennessee Director of Athletics Danny White. Rob, two things stood out to me. He's going to be aggressive. He hates to lose. Two things Tennessee, I think,
And
needs
he
to have
hates fall Twitter.
and just in their athletic department in general.
I was impressed. I mean, it's cliche at this point in time to, quote unquote, win the press conference. But, I mean, I thought he came off really, really well. And, like you said, aggressive, innovative, young, and has had tremendous success at, places smaller than this. But track record speaks for itself. I just thought he came off really well today.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. When you look at everything he had to say, he clearly just gets it. I thought his message to the fans was really good. If you're upset, text a friend. Don't hop on social media and do that and go that route. And look, that's something I've been talking about in the general's quarters. That's going to happen. There's people going to be on Twitter and stuff. But if you just cut it by half, like how much does that change the narrative out there for everybody? So I thought he hit on so
Yeah,
many different talking points. And the other thing that stood out to me was the point that he said he's never started a coaching search. Now, we'll see if that's actually true or not. I mean, it's hard to think that he doesn't already have some semblance of a plan in his head, but he's never started a coaching search without talking to the players of that sport first. Something he'll do later today.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, AP. I mean, he said he's going to meet with the team later this afternoon. And, obviously he can't meet with 85 guys, but he's going to ask them to elect some representatives, and then said he would meet with 6 or 7 of those players, talk to them about what they felt like they needed. And, maybe other athletic directors do that, but I mean, I thought that was, kind of tipped his hand to the inclusive manner in which he approaches his job.
Chancellor Plowman spoke after athletic director White, and it's pretty clear what we've been told the last few days. Once she made the hire, that person, and it ends up being Danny White, was going to control the coaching search. She would take kind of a step back. She'll still meet whoever they're wanting to hire and do anything she needs to do, but ultimately, this is going to come down to Danny White and his feel for things. And I thought it also interesting that he pointed out also, a lot of those names that are out there floating around on previous coaching searches of his, those weren't the guys they ended up hiring. So, I don't really read those. Otherwise, why do you need me here? His talking points today just I thought hit a home run for just everything.
I agree. I mean, he talked about, this should inform your hot board. How many times did he mention integrity and character and being able to trust the guy that he was going to hire? I mean, I'm not trying to throw
And he
stones.
wasn't just talking about with recruiting and that type of thing. Everything.
Yeah, everything about his program. So I think that should inform what your realistic hot board looks like a little bit. And not for no slam on Philip, but the way, he's just so much more connected to current times, and it's obvious the way he talked about, he referenced social media on multiple occasions, like, if it's 50 degrees outside and you've got to go lift weights, you're a 19-year-old kid, your Twitter feed's full of negativity, how motivated are you? I mean, that, again, no slam on Philip, but that's not something that would even ever occur to him, and just, he's an athletic director for the times, I think. We'll see, but the impression I got today was that he is connected. He knows what young people today are going through. He understands the pressures that they're under, and I was just impressed.
Music to everyone that loves orange. He hit every note correctly today, Rob. And
I want to say one more thing, AP. I'm going to write something about this later, but for the first time, this century, and maybe going back, Tennessee hired a guy that other schools rivals are going to go, damn. I wish. I'm impressed by that guy. They didn't go get a former football coach. They didn't get. No offense against Dave Hart, but he was in the twilight of his career. Just kind of biding time in his alma mater after the biggest job of his lifetime at Florida State. John Currie, the main thing that made him attractive to Tennessee was that he had been here before. He had experience. The boosters knew him. Mike Hamilton backed into the job when nobody else wanted it after Doug Dickey retired. Doug Dickey got the job because of his ties to, and Doug Dickey did a phenomenal job, but he got the job because of his ties to Tennessee. For the first time maybe in forever, Tennessee went out and got a national candidate that other schools would have wanted.
That's exactly right. He was on the list at Georgia before they decided to stay in house, which is something a lot of programs do. Stay in house. It's harder to go outside the box. Tennessee goes outside the box on this hire, and we'll break down that hire in full coming up with our VolQuest Power Hour. It'll be Rob Lewis, Brent Hubbs, Chad Withrow, and myself. You'll be able to get that later today on VolQuest coming up this afternoon. This has been a short update after hearing from new athletic director Danny White on what he envisions for the next coach and future of UT Athletics.